Men are such animals. Let's do this.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about this book. It's by Dr. D. James Kennedy. It's called What If Jesus Had Never Been Born? And this is a book, atheists, that you're going to definitely want to read. And the reason for that is because since you're an atheist, I know a lot of you have this viewpoint that you want to have an earth where there is no religion.
Wow. Very first thing this guy says, and already he's completely wrong. You see, it's not that I want to live in a world without religion. It's that religion is false, and I want to live in a world that's governed by reality, not fantasy. Well, okay, that's not entirely true. I mean, I'd love it if Star Wars were real, but hey, that's a separate issue. What I'm saying is that if I'm going to deal with the real world, I want to make sure I'm dealing with it on its own terms. Now, if it turned out religion was true, well, first of all, you'd have to say, which religion? Because there are some that I wouldn't mind, and some that just sound horrible. So, again, it doesn't come down to what I want, it comes down to what is real, what can be shown to be so.
And we've already had an earth that had no religion. This book explains what that was like, and it wasn't the utopia that many atheists think that it would be.
The only Earth we ever had with no religion on it was the Earth that we had prior to humanity's existence. We've never actually tried a sentient species existing without any religion whatsoever. It's just never been done. So you can't say whether or not it would be the utopia we atheists think it would be. It's just never been tried. Ever.
In this book, there's a question that's asked. And that question is this: what is a human being to you? Because the way you answer that question, what is a human being to you, determines exactly what it is that you can do to one.
Nah, see, that's got nothing to do with it. What I think a human being is, say, physically or scientifically, doesn't determine what I think I can do with or to them at all. Not in the slightest. In fact, I've made videos expounding upon the point that I hate the word person, specifically because people use it as a synonym for human being, for those of us who are biologically human. But when you talk about a person, you talk about their personality. And there are plenty of non-human creatures out there that have personalities that I care about, that I would go to great lengths to protect, much the way I would another human being. It's got nothing to do with what they are. It has to do with who they are.
Now, if a human being is created in the image of God, you have to treat that human being with the same kind of reverence, respect, kindness, and love that you would treat God.
Boy, you do not want that, trust me, 'cause your God, the Judeo-Christian God, is an asshole. If I ever met that God, I'd kick his ass, or at least tell him off. Seriously, you don't want me treating human beings like they're made in the image of God. Trust me on that one.
But if a human is nothing more than a compilation of evolution, and let's face it, if you're an atheist, you've got no place to go. You have to believe in that theory. That man is nothing more than a compilation of animals.
No, because that is not the only possibility. You see, I'm an atheist, not a theist. I don't believe in any gods, but that doesn't preclude the possibility that I could believe in something else magical. I don't, but there is the possibility that life could have arisen on Earth by supernatural means that has nothing to do with a god. Furthermore, there are other possibilities like panspermia, like life being seeded throughout the universe from other planets, whether it's done through meteors crashing onto the planet or perhaps intelligently seeded onto Earth by aliens. That's another possibility as well. Now, I don't happen to believe in any of those personally, but that doesn't mean that they're impossible, and if I saw enough evidence, I'd change my mind. And none of this requires a god. So no, you're wrong. We don't necessarily have to believe in evolution as atheists. That is not a requirement. Sorry.
And if man is nothing but an animal, then that determines what you can do to him.
Oh, really? Well, I'll tell you what then, pal. You just try and do to humans what humans do to animals, and see if you get away with it. You see, last I checked, most humans have come up with some pretty ingenious ways of defending themselves. I mean, yeah, a lot of it does come down to, can I get away with it? And yeah, it probably is much more comforting to have some divine being up in the sky that tells you what you can and can't do, that has a rule book for you. But the fact is that that being doesn't exist. And if that being doesn't exist, we're on our own. We're improvising. But that doesn't make a difference. Our morality still exists. I mean, yeah, okay, so we won't have some punishment at the end for all of our transgressions. We might actually get away with some stuff. And yeah, that's pretty scary. But that might also be reality. And you might have to deal with it. And human morality is such that it comes down to empathy and self-preservation, self-interest. You know, do I want that to be done to me? No? Then why should I be allowed to do it to other people? Why do we need a God for that? And yeah, some people violate that. Some people don't take that tenet to heart. And we have jails and police and courts to deal with those people. Again, no God required. So, explain to me exactly why we can do whatever we want to humans based on their biological makeup, based on the fact that there's no divine being enforcing a rule book. Explain to me exactly how we get to do whatever we want without those things. Really.
Look what we do to animals already. We hunt them, we shoot them, we skin them, use their pelts for jackets and for footballs and for shoes and all kinds of things.
Is that really all you think we do with non-humans? Really? Because some of them we keep as pets, as friends. We take care of them, we feed them, we pet them, we make sure that they're comfortable, well taken care of. We bring them to the vet. We care about them, we give them names. We treat them in their own way, like people. And we treat humans in much the same way, at least in spirit. Because some of them we treat as dangerous, some of them we treat as friends or companions or even family. And not just biological family. There are plenty of people out there that I can think of as non-biological family. I mean, hell, I'm adopted. None of my family is actually biologically related to me, and they're still family, just as much as my cat Columbia is family to me. And you're going to sit there and only point to the negative things that humans do to animals? Really? Come on. Let's be a little fair, shall we?
Atheists, if you get a world that is void of what the Bible teaches, then you're going to experience the kind of a world that we never want to see again, the world that's described in this book. I certainly hope you get this book.
You know, your video would be rather more effective if you actually said what kind of world we could expect and just what would be wrong with it. I mean, as a commercial for that book, the information you've given me has been inadequate to pique my interest. It just sounds like that book is going to be spreading fallacies and falsehoods, and I have no intention of reading it based on what you've said. So, yeah, you might want to consider that for next time.
Because honestly, atheists, if you think this through, you're going to get not the utopia you think you're going to get. You're going to get a world that we've already had, and that's not the kind of world anybody wants to live in.
No. You see, we're not going to get a world we've already had. We're going to get a world nobody's ever seen before. Because we've never had a religion-free world that was populated by sentient beings. That's never happened.
I certainly hope you'll join me in praying that we always have leaders that believe man is made in the image of God, and certainly never have a leader that has any kind of authority that believes man is the supreme being, the compilation of all those animals.
And I hope you'll join me in hoping that we always have a leader who takes responsibility rather than shoving it upstairs to some imaginary being.
I certainly hope you understand this.
Oh, I understand. That's completely irrelevant to whether or not I agree. You're just factually incorrect. Sorry. Until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying don't run on automatic. Instead, please, think. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. And please visit my Zazzle store, where you'll find all kinds of BionicDance merchandise. Every time you rate, an angel loses its wings.